Influence is a transference of emotion. Every time you're in front of a customer, you state the state you're in and the feelings you experience affect that person. Is that in every area of your life? Say yes. Yes. Your people buy your state. That's why when you look at people that have high volume, why do they attract so many people? Because they got a friggin' exceptional state. Doesn't mean you're an exceptional communicator. What you have is a personality-driven practice. Anybody besides me have one of those? Anybody have personality-driven? It's not systems-driven? Right? Because people are, what they're doing is they're buying your state. It's very powerful. Now, every person on your team has a specific state with intention. People associate your state with your product. That's why you can get up and rant and rave in front of an audience, and some people will sign up. Doesn't mean you're a great communicator. It means people that signed up are buying your state. The other people that didn't sign up had an objection. But because you didn't have the communication training, you may not have been able to handle those objections, and you didn't know how to connect with that person. It's easy to connect with people that are like you. Because, man, I can get all fired up. You know, when I started speaking at CBP, I'm a total spine geek, but I'm a principal guy that became a spine geek. There are some people in CBP that were spine geeks first, which is fine, that never got the principal because schools don't teach principal. So in the beginning, when I first started speaking, man, I get all fired up, and 2 people would approach me. You know why? Because those were 2 people that I could connect with. I didn't know how to connect with other people that weren't all fired up about the principal. And what happened was my vibration was so far up here, and biomechanics does not have, that's a left brain thing. It's not a spiritual thing. So people wouldn't approach me. Right? Which tells me what? I probably vibrate with 20% of the population. Now, here's a powerful question. How many people know 20% of your patients refer 80% of your new patients? Is that right? About 20% are natural promoters. The question I asked myself one day that developed the whole re-exam system and daily visit was, how do you make the 80% act like the 20%? So how can I manage my state and teach you communication tools where you can connect with the 80% rather than 20%? You could trip over yourself and get 20% commitment. If people are buying your state, you could get at least 50%. The reality is what happened to the other 50 or 40%? They walk out subluxated. That's too big. That's a big price. What happens when a person walks out subluxated? What happens to their life? Deteriorates. Will it ever be the same? No. It's a big responsibility. You associate your state with your product. What's that mean? I get calls all the time. You know, there's a certain type of person I just don't know how to connect with. Anybody experience that? So as soon as you see that type of person in your exam room, what do you think? Oh, this sucks. What's the probability? The same thing's going to happen because you're going to go down the same path. They're going to say the same thing. You're going to get the same emotion, and it goes the same way. Anybody besides me ever experienced that? Why? Because it's already wired into you. You already made a judgment. You already got upset. You already changed your state. You already did all that. So what's the probability you're going to do the same thing that you've always done that is neurologically wired in your brain and emotion? What's that probability? Pretty low or pretty high? Pretty high. So you have to be, in every situation, totally clear to be able to connect with people. How you feel about your product or service will determine how they feel. And that's anyone on your team. Your systems and your practice is only as strong as the lowest denominator in consciousness of your team. In other words, you will never go above or stay above the weakest link. person with the lowest consciousness will determine the level of your success in reaching your vision.